I'm with Courtiers Head of Asset Management, James Timpson, to find out what's been happening through what, James, seems to be quite a long month, July. Fill us in.
Yeah, it's actually been quite an interesting month. Obviously, we've got the two big themes at the moment. We've got the ongoing conflict in the Middle East, and we've also got all of the possible concerns over elevated AI valuations. So you've actually seen quite a bit of disparity between different markets. So the UK market, FTSE 100, it's quite full of energy and financial companies, and they've done quite well in the last month. So the FTSE 100 is up more than 3.5%. But in the US, which as we know is quite tech heavy, the S&P 500 is fairly flat, and the Nasdaq index, which is especially concentrated in tech stocks, that's actually down over 6% in the month. So we've seen quite a big difference between different, not just geographies, but different styles of stocks as well. And year to date, the MSCI World Value Index, that's appreciated nearly 15%, whereas the MSCI World Growth Index, that's only up 6.5%. So being value investors, as we have been for quite some time now, has been really beneficial this year.
I was going to ask how it's been for the Courtiers funds. Thank you. So yeah, lots going on, and not least Andy Burnham taking the seat as Prime Minister in the UK, and former Defence Secretary John Healey as the new Chancellor of the Exchequer, and a Bank of England meeting. So what's happening with the economy now?
Well, I guess it's too early to say what effects the new Prime Minister and Chancellor will have on the economy. There wasn't much reaction at the time because, again, it was widely expected. Then last week, of course, we had the Bank of England Monetary Policy Committee meeting. And as expected, they did keep rates flat at 3.75%. But it wasn't a unanimous vote. It was 6-3 in favour. And they did mention that were the US-Iran conflict to escalate, then they would be prepared to raise rates. So actually, gilt yields have risen during the month. The 10-year gilt yield started the month at 4.75%, and it ended the month just over 5%. So we've seen higher gilt yields, and again, that's mostly just uncertainty over possible inflation hikes, possibly caused by the ongoing conflict.
Thank you, James. Can we now flip around the world to Korea? You've mentioned the Kospi index, Korea's main index, a few times over the last few months. What's the story been there?
Yes, so I reckon you could design a roller coaster at Thorpe Park based on what the Korean index has done this year. So if you go back to January, the Kospi index, which is the main index in Korea, was up 24%. February, another 19%. In March, it fell off 19%. April, up 30%. May, it was up another 28%. Then it was flat in June. And in July, it fell off 22%. So it's been just like a roller coaster. And I did actually ask Copilot to come up with some possible names for what you could call a roller coaster based on the Korean stock market.
And what did the all-intelligent AI come back with?
We do like to use AI productively here. So it came up with the Seoul Surge, the Bull of Busan, or how about the One and Done?
Oh,
quite like that. Yeah. But
very good, James.
I think the reason why the Korean index has been so volatile this year is because the two biggest stocks in it, which make up 50% of the index between them, are Samsung and SK Hynix, and they both deal with semiconductors.
So there's a big queue for the roller coaster, would you say?
I don't know, are you an adrenaline junkie? I think even this one would be a bit too much for me, I think.
But we're in Samsung.
We are in Samsung, yes. And despite all the volatility, Samsung is still up 115% year to date. So it's still one of our best performing companies. But seeing all this volatility is just a reminder of why you don't want to invest too heavily in just a few single stocks.
I was going to say, yeah,
it's just one stock of many that we hold in the portfolio.
Yeah, so you'll see there might be a spike in volatility over here, but you're actually balancing that out across the portfolio.
Absolutely, yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you, James, to you and the team for keeping an eye on it all. Anything on the horizon for you all?
So we mentioned in the last video that we were looking to build our China exposure. China's become so big now that to have nothing at all in it would be an extremely active position. So the latest stock that we've added to our emerging market portfolio in the multi-asset funds is called Haitian International. It's an industrial company based in China, but listed in Hong Kong, which is how we're able to trade it. And it specialises in plastic injection moulding machines, which sounds quite niche, But it generated $2.5 billion in revenue last year, and it's cropped up on our screen. So it's become the latest addition to our EM portfolio.
Wow. Just on that, when you're looking at all these stocks, are there any industries or companies in areas that you've not really been aware of before that piqued your interest aside of an investment?
That can happen, although we are completely agnostic in that respect. We look at what the model generates, we look at the shortlist, and we use that as our guide. So perhaps it won't surprise you to know that a lot of the big AI names, Apple, Amazon, Nvidia, they don't crop up because of their huge price multiples. Other than that, we're pretty agnostic. We'll go to whichever sectors show the most value.
If there was a board game manufacturer and the price was right, would you go for it?
Absolutely, I would, yeah. And I'm still waiting for someone to challenge me at Scrabble. I've had that on my bio on the website for 13 years now, and still no one's played me at Scrabble. So anyone out there wants to play me, I'm up for it.
Thank you, James. Thank you to you and the team. Thank you for watching. If you do have any questions, please speak to your advisor, contact us through the website. If you want to challenge James to Scrabble, his bio's on there.